Well, this here behind are the palaces of Westminster, and that next to Big Ben is Westminster Hall, where the coffin is lying in state, and that is where so many thousands and thousands are headed to. And it is no easy task to get there. The queues have been forming miles long. From here, if one were to walk down along the queue to where it begins, that goes back along the river to the far end up to Tower Bridge. It's about there that the queue is beginning at the moment, and then all along the river to then come to this point right behind. And that is not the end of it. People are not just walking across the bridge now from here to Westminster Hall. The queue here then goes further along the river. It will go to the bridge behind, it will loop around and then come around on the other side of the river to then walk along Mill Bank and then head to the Palace of Westminster. Thereon, of course, there will be the usual security searches. There will be several checks in place. People's identities and their place in the queue will be checked. Everyone has a wristband to mark their place in the queue, and these keep changing every few hundred so that people stay in more or less the same part of the queue. And the wristbands enable people to step out and get refreshments and a drink of water, use toilet facilities. It's all been planned very, very carefully, and by the looks of it, this is working really, really well so far. People have been waiting hours already. Several who are only now reaching the head of the queue queued up very early in the morning, and this is only day one. By the time we get to the fourth day, which will be Sunday, there will be people who might be queuing all night. And there is a real apprehension that by the time we get to the end of the whole ceremony of being able to view the coffin, which will be at 6:30 a.m. Local time on the morning of Monday, September the 19th, by that time, not everyone who queued would have got to file by the body. There is an advisory in place that people do need to get on with this the earliest they comfortably can in order to have that moment. That moment when it comes does not last very long. People have to be in and out of Westminster Hall within a minute. We have seen images, of course, of the coffin lying in state within Westminster Hall on that raised platform, and that is past which people have been coming in very quietly, heads bowed, very solemn moment, a very painful moment when people have lost the only monarch that most have known all their life. But this is not a moment they could have let pass without being there and being present.